Hey, I'm Roland with Mobile Geeks, and today I have right here the LG G Pro Lite Dual, which is basically a 5.5-inch phablet that is supposed to be kind of like the G Pro, but at a way cheaper price point. So this one's coming out for about 250 euros in Germany, I think. And it is based on a dual core from MediaTek actually. So LG is going a bit off the beaten path to go lower in the price point. So this is running the MT6577 dual core. That's the pretty well-known ARM Cortex A9 1.0 gigahertz chip from the Taiwanese company called MediaTek that is mostly used in Chinese smartphones actually. And I guess the reason why they're using this chip in this device is actually its dual SIM functionality. So you can put two SIM cards in there and combine work and private life, for example, using different numbers. And or you could also have one SIM card for your data plan and one SIM card for calling. Or you could also have your local SIM or an international SIM, or when traveling you can have your own standard private SIM and kind of a travel SIM also in the same device without having to carry two smartphones. And another thing about this device is actually that it has a stylus integrated that allows you to make notes and do all other kinds of handwriting stuff. But let's get started unboxing it. So on the side, the box already tells you that it has an IPS panel, but the screen is actually not, doesn't have a really high resolution. So this is only running at a QHD resolution of 960 by 540 pixels at a diagonal of 5.5 inches. So that actually turns out to be a not too high pixel density on this phone. There is the embedded stylus that's mentioned right there. It has two big speakers, or at least that's what LG wants us to believe based on what's on the packaging right there. The device is 9.4 millimeters thick. It weighs in at 161 grams, I can tell you that. And we have a pretty big battery. It's a 3140 milliamp battery. So that should definitely get you through the day, maybe even 2 days, depending on how much you use the device. You get an 8 megapixel camera on the back, including a flash, and this one actually runs on Android 4.1.2. So right from the start, you don't get an really up-to-date Android version. It is actually a pretty old version because many other companies have already switched to 4.2.2 or are even going higher to 4.4 KitKat. What else is in there? There's Wi-Fi in there and Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 3.0, and all other kinds of mobile communication stuff. This doesn't have LTE, that's for sure, because it's a low price point smartphone. It runs on quad band GSM, supports HSAPA Plus up to, I think, 21 megabits per second. And let's get started unboxing, right? So there you have the phone itself already. Again, with a lot of specs on the front, plus the mention of the dual SIM support. But let's put that to the side for a second first, so we can dive deeper down into the box and figure out the paper stuff first. So this is your quick start guide, including some warranty information, just the usual stuff that nobody ever reads, right? And this is a basic headset that LG includes right here, just basic earplugs, nothing fancy, no in-ear. Price is probably about 50 cents. It has a single button to accept calls up here, no volume rockers or volume buttons or anything else. Just a very, very cheap headset you are probably going to replace with one of the many other headsets you might already have. This is the standard micro USB cable to connect it to the power adapter, which is right here. Again, standard power adapter, but this one only puts out 1.2 amps, so you might want to get or use another one that is a bit more powerful because the device actually has a very big battery. So that's what we are going to talk about next. So here we go. That's the 3140 milliamp or 11.9 watt hours battery. So that's you might want to get a bigger charger, so you or a better charger that can charge this one quicker, otherwise it's probably going to take quite a while to get this charged using the standard adapter. Yeah, and that's it. Everything else, nothing else in the box right there. Let's talk about the phone then. I'm just going to quickly get this out of its foil. Let me just try and remove the cover right here. So that's this 5.5 inch QHD screen I was talking about. It's an IPS panel, as I said. Should be pretty decent. It does have a good quality concerning the colors and stuff. Just don't expect a too heavy or too good resolution on this because it is only running at QHD. Let's go quickly around the device. All those blue tabs and stuff up here, that's actually foil that LG puts on to protect those fake aluminum borders on the device. Maybe that even is aluminum, but I would guess that it's just standard plastic covered with a chrome coating. This right here is the power button on the right side. Nothing else on the right except for this spot down here. We can actually take off the back cover. On the bottom you get two speakers that look pretty decent or seem to be pretty good. In the middle you have a standard micro USB port plus a your voice mic right there. On the left we have the volume rockers, again covered with those plastic straps that LG puts on there to protect the device. And up here is a special button that actually starts the note-taking functions. So when you press that button on the screen, there's a menu popping up, and it allows you to take notes and do all other kinds of funny stuff with your stylus. But I'm going to talk about that in a second. Up on top, as I said, 3.5mm headset jack and what looks like a IR blaster actually. So you might be able to use this as a TV remote for your LG or other company TV actually. And another mic, which is probably for noise cancellation. And on the left right here you can actually see that this is the place where LG puts its stylus. So let me just try and get this out. So this is what you get with the device. It's pretty much a simple, very simple stylus. Has a ballpoint tip actually, so it's kind of not very pointed, so I wonder how that works. It's rubbery, so I don't know if it's actually capacitive, or I don't think there's a digitizer in this device, so it's probably just a basic pen to keep the prices low. On the back we have a 8-megapixel shooter right there, including its own flash, and the back is actually very glossy. As you can see, it attracts a lot of fingerprints. You can remove the back and exchange the battery, which I'm just going to do right now, or at least try and get the battery in there. But while we're at it, we can also talk about another special feature of the LG G Pro Lite Dual, which is this dual SIM slot right there. So you can stack two SIM cards in there. I think there's one going in the bottom, another one up on top of that, and over here that's the micro SD card slot for storage extension. Talking about the two SIM card slots, on the front you actually have this special button for switching between the two SIM cards. I think the MediaTek actually supports having both active, but this is probably just for switching from the primary to the secondary SIM right there. Also, you can see that LG actually uses 2 or 3 capacitive touch buttons for the Android functions, so they're not putting anything on the screen. Up on top you get a 1.3 megapixel camera right there, and again this 5.5 inch IPS panel. Let me just get in the battery for a second. So that one goes right there, and get the cover on. Just gonna, while I'm doing that, I'm just gonna turn it on for a second. Just click on the cover again. And since I've taken out the stylus, I'll show you how what this note-taking app actually looks like whenever the phone has finally made it to the boot screen or start screen. And I'm just going to unlock it quickly. So they can also already see that the MediaTek is having kind of a hard time to actually cope with the heavily skinned interface that LG is putting on this Android 4.1.2. Let's just hope it gets done quickly. There we are. Let me just hit this button up here. That was actually the back cover snapping back on there. And now I can actually just took basically a screenshot of what I was just looking at, so you can do that at any point on the device and just start writing like this using your stylus. It's always going to have the same width on the lines and everything because it's not pressure sensitive or anything, so it's just a basic note-taking stylus right there. So this has been the LG G Pro Lite Dual, and I was rolling with Mobile Geeks. See you later.